G'day guys, this is iRide Taz, and this is Izzy, my XVS 1100 bobber. And this is the first in a series that I'm going to call Budget Bobber Build. And ultimately, on the success of Izzy, this is Gilby. Gilby is a 1997 XV 250. We've bought him for this build, and then I'm going to give it to Mrs. iRide Taz so she can look just as badass as me when I go out on Izzy. So Izzy is a beast. Gilby maybe not so much. He's got a few issues, but I got him cheap. He's fully registered and I got him home, and I think he's going to make a perfect build for someone smaller and lighter like Mrs. iRide Taz. So let's have a look. He's got a few pros and cons. We'll do the cons first because they probably outweigh the pros. But ultimately, let's do a quick walk around and check him out. First problem, Gilby, cracked front fender. Chip front fender, very, very faded paintwork. I think Gilby has been dropped on his side at one point because there's a very slight dimple and wave here, but for the look I'm going to go for, that's no problem, and it certainly doesn't affect the running of the bike. For a 20-year-old bike that hasn't been cared for, it's got noticeable surface corrosion on the header pipe, on the covers here, chipped, faded side covers. When he's fallen over, scratched his top pipe, and that's corroded. While we're on this side, Gilby has no back brake to speak of, which is entertaining on the ride home. Got these awesome, very 1980s Harley-esque panniers for free. In this side bag, you've actually got a mirror that's brand new, so that can go on. That'll look a lot better. Bit of chipping and corrosion. Minced up rear number plate. Back light that you could sit under as a veranda and protect yourself from the rain. It's that big. Just take these off. Yes. That's what Miss Marley thinks of the 1980s panniers. She's not really impressed. Hang on, we better get them back. Come on, dog. I know they're ordinary, but, you know, don't have to tear them apart, you brat. This brack all the way home, boom, 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 over every pothole, because it should be held in there, there, and on the other side with bolts, and there's one screw, but it held up for the ride home. Such poorly adjusted that this actually is in the wrong spot. It should sit flush there, and it's been pulled up there. Oil covering it. Chain is so loose that I'm surprised it didn't chomp the cog as I was riding home. Dirt on all the engine covers. Surface corrosion. Mirrors that are just completely stuffed. They just won't tighten up, won't hold their position in the wind. Slightly torn, dirty seat. So why did I buy this piece of shit, you ask? Well, there are certainly some pros to outweigh a few of those small minor negatives. The first is Gilby. Despite all of his problems, including not having a choke, because the choke is frozen with rust. Gilby will cold start and hold a reasonable idle straight off a cold start. Gilby was pretty cheap by Australian standards. He was about 1,500 bucks, fully registered. He's got brand new tyres. These are Dunlop D404, so they're actually the same tyres that I've got on Izzy. Front. And rear. And again, despite all his foibles, Izzy has 11,482 kilometers on him, and I've just put about 120 on those on him. So it's a genuine sort of 3 female owner bike. He's cheap, and look at him, he's just crying out for some care and some attention and some modifications to make him look just as badass as Izzy. So when I went to check him out and test ride him, we agreed on a price for all the problems, and ultimately I discovered he had no oil in him. So while she went and got the papers, I went to the auto supply store and bought a litre of semi-synthetic, some chain lube, and I sort of filled him up with oil, lubed his chain, adjusted the clutch, turned the idle down because he was revving so hard it wasn't funny, and that wasn't helping me getting him into gear or fine neutral. So I did a quick by the side of the road service and tinker, got him running, rode him home from Launceston to Sheffield, and he didn't miss a beat. So guys, over the next series of videos, I'm going to take this unloved mid-90s entry-level cruiser and turn it into something special. The series of videos is going to be called Budget Bobber Build, and after spending so much time and effort and money on Izzy, I don't have a whole lot of money to throw at Gilby. So it is going to be a budget build, but budget doesn't necessarily mean that it has to look terrible. So we're going to walk our way through all those modifications, and I really hope that you join me. So guys, my name's iRide Taz. This is episode 1 of Budget Bobber Build. Join me next time as we clean up Gilby and do a bit of a tear down and try and fix some of the issues just to get him roadworthy, so Mrs. iRide Taz can go for a ride on a bike that'll end up being hers. So join me next week. My name's iRide Taz. I am out.